So I spent 25 years in the entertainment industry and ended up building my own event management agency. So obviously I was chief executive of that and ended up selling that. Franchising was the ideal solution for me, really, because I knew I probably wasn't employable, having never had a proper job, in the traditional sense. So being self-employed was the obvious thing for me. But having been an employer and had 30 odd staff at one point, I was sure that I didn't want to spend the latter part of my working career as an employer. I wanted to do something that was just about me, that I had total flexibility. I didn't have anyone else's children to have to worry about or any other mouths to feed. So that's why franchising suited me, really. To be honest, I looked fairly narrowly because I know I wanted a business-to-business franchise. I didn't want to be in retail. I didn't want something that required me to invest a large amount of money in stock or in hardware. When you actually start pinning those sort of things down, you're down to a fairly small number of business-to-business professional businesses, really. And ERA was one of the best of that type. ERA to me had, right from day one, had a certain presence about it in terms of the professionalism of the way it portrayed itself and its service. And I felt ethically very comfortable with ERA in a way that perhaps I didn't feel as comfortable with some of the alternatives. My earning potential has now, after 5 years, has exceeded where I expected it to be when I joined the organisation. When I joined the organisation, I wanted to probably earn maybe £40,000 or £50,000 a year, working fairly part-time. I very quickly realised that actually I could do a lot more than that, but working harder. Sort of third year, I was kind of just about into six figures. Fourth and fifth year comfortably in six figures. But I don't work as hard as some other people in the network, and some other people in the network do a lot better than that. Really what I love about ERA is helping my clients to achieve their goals. So my greatest achievements are doing just that, really. When you've actually been working with a client for 2 or 3 years and you actually see them getting the kind of savings, and you get that lovely graph of the savings that says this is what we've actually delivered together over the last 3 years, and there's a tremendous sense of satisfaction in that. And to be able to look at a number of different clients over the last 5 years that I've been in the business and be able to look at that graph and see the savings growing year on year for that client, and then what they've been able to do with those savings, how they've been able to reinvest that in their business, in their organisation to actually improve things. And that's a great level of satisfaction for me. Success is that feel, that satisfaction of being able to help my clients, really, and see them benefit from what I'm doing. That's success for me in ERA. Yeah, in terms of what ERA has delivered for me personally, apart from the satisfaction levels, it has delivered for me a realisation that I've been able to succeed in an area that prior to coming into ERA was completely foreign to me. But I suppose in terms of material things, it has enabled me to, it will enable me to retire at the same time as my wife, who's a lot younger than me. So we'll be able to retire together and enjoy some quality time together as we get a little bit older. Not just yet, but that day is clearly there, and that's great to know that the resources are going to be able to be there to deliver that. We've just signed a contract to buy a boat, and we will be spending at least 6 weeks a year from next summer actually out on the boat in the Mediterranean, cruising around, still doing some work, but actually, my wife will retire in order to do that, and that wouldn't have happened probably without ERA. So, yeah. Have I enjoyed ERA? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. The first couple of years, really, really hard work. But that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the hard work. I think you wouldn't come into ERA if you didn't enjoy hard work, because it is tough. It's a hard time those first couple of years. But once you get through that barrier and actually start earning some money, then that even just adds to the enjoyment as well. So, yeah, absolutely, I'd do it again. I'd say as long as you're prepared to work hard, that you're not going to have to take too many risks in order to finance the business, then go ahead and do it and throw yourself into it full-heartedly and make sure you're working at full whack from day one, because those initial few months are absolutely important. You can't afford to waste them, and really make the best of that. Come into it with a 100-day plan, know exactly what you're going to do and go for it.